Change really announces itself. It doesn't knock loudly. It doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it begins quietly, so subtle you almost missed it. A thought that lingers longer, a feelings you can't ignore, a question that refuses to leave. You keep moving like nothing happened, but sometimes it did, because deep beneath routine, beneath expectation, beneath the version of you the world recognizes, a shift begins. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. And once it starts, nothing inside you stays the same. Because shift really introduces itself clearly. They move beneath awareness, quiet adjustment, and in how you see things, small pauses that didn't exist before. Moments where times feel slower, where meaning feels heavier. You begin sensing depth in ordinary seconds. Not enough to explain, but enough to notice. And that noticing changes everything. Because once awareness enters, even gently, life no longer feels exactly the same. The weight wasn't obvious. It didn't arrive as pressure. It didn't feel dramatic. It was a subtle, woven into everyday thoughts, quietly shaping reaction. Things I carry without questioning. Old expectation that no longer fit. Past version of myself still echoing. I thought it was normal. I thought that was just life. But something inside me began noticing. The quiet awareness, the gentle resistance. Not loud enough to explain, but strong enough to feel. And for the first time, I realized not everything I carried belongs to me. Some of it was inherited in silence, unspoken rules, passing down quietly. Expectation shaped before I understood choice. Belief formed without permission. And seeing that truth, I didn't feel heavy. It felt revealing, like loosening a knot I didn't know I was holding. Awareness doesn't shatter your world. It creates small cracks, tiny moments where things feel different, where reactions slow down, where silence gets louder. You began to notice patterns, the same emotion repeating, the same thoughts circling back, not dramatic but undeniable. You start questioning what was once felt permanent, why certain fears still linger, why certain parts feel heavier now. And that's when it's happened. That quiet fractures, not outside, inside. A space open between who you are and who you have been. It's uncomfortable, uncertain, unfamiliar. But it's real. Because once you see certainly and clearly, you can't return to the blindness. And some things within you began choosing truth over comfort. At first, it feels fatigue, like walking across unfamiliar ground. You certainly wavers. Your confident shift. You replay moments differently. You hear your own thoughts more clearly. Things that was once felt automatic now require attention. And that's awareness. You feel lonely, not because you isolate, but because you are awakened. You start recognizing silence as space, not emptiness, but possibility. You pause more often. You respond instead of reacting. You question without fear. And slowly, very slowly, you begin trusting the discomfort. Because somewhere deep inside, you recognize it. This is what honesty feels like. Change doesn't always graceful. Sometimes it feels like resistance, a quiet tension inside your chest, a pull in two directions. Part of you wants familiarities, part of you wants freedom, and they don't agree. You hesitate more, you observe more, you speak less, not because you are lost, because you are listening. Old habits still calling your name. Old identities still feel safe, but they don't fit the same. And that creates friction, not visible to the world, but undeniable within. You begin choosing differently. Small direction, subtle shift, no announcement, no applause, just a quiet rebellion against the version of you who have grown out. And that rebellion is quiet, almost invisible from the outside. Not dramatic exit, no loud declaration, but subtle refusal. Moments where you don't engage the same way. Time where silence replaces reaction. You start honoring your own energy, protecting your own peace. Not perfectly, but intentionally. And in that intention, build strength. You feel it in small victory, in moments of resistance, in decisions no one noticed. And even when doubts appear, you don't collapse into it. You observe it, let it pass, because something steadier is forming. Not loud confident, but grounded. Knowing that what knowing begins guiding you forward. Then something shifts again, not loud, but steady. The resistance softens, the noise fades, clarity doesn't rush in. It settles. You stop forcing answers. You stop chasing certainty. You start trusting stillness. And in that stillness, alignments begin. Not as a revelation, but as a recognition. You remember what feels true, what feels light, what feels honest. You begin letting go quietly and everything at once, just enough to breathe again. And slowly, without realizing when it starts, you stop trying to become someone new and start returning to who you were beneath that noise. And that return feels familiar, not new, but remember, like rediscovering a voice. Not every transformation is visible. Not every evolution is loud. Some of the deepest shifts happens quietly, beyond recognition, beyond applause, but they mattered because every silent realization reshapes your part. Every quiet truth reshapes your direction, and every unseen shift reshapes who you become. So, if things feel different lately, if silence feels louder, if clarity feels closer, you're not lost. You are becoming. Develop in silence. Move with purpose. Respect every time.